The first
Yep.
principle in the web content accessibility guidelines is perceivability. And perceivability is all about all the elements on the website, the forms, the images, the color, the font size, everything that goes up to making it. What is the most common error that you see in perceivability?
Well, still the biggest problem that we still see, even though it's actually now very much prominent in getting people to put alternative text for the graphics, we still see a lot of people putting very interesting alternative texts. And sometimes it even involves uh, numbers and strings, which are not really anything that makes any sense to people. So yeah, we see a lot of bad alt texts even now, even though people know that they need to put that in. I think sometimes the um, uh, the non-flowing aspects of formatting. So when I talk about that, I was just thinking like, yeah, you got headings that don't exactly look like they're structurally not flowing, aren't they? You're having a level 3 heading, um, you know, under in heading level 1 where you should have a heading level 2, etc. There's just sort of that aesthetic look. Um, Contrast is a big one, isn't it? Still,
It's a massive
just something
one.
that you could probably talk to.
Yeah.
Um,
Contrast seems to be common for every website that I've actually audited in the last 6 months. There's always a contrast issue. And of course, for everyone, contrast between background and foreground should be 4.5 to 1 for text. If you're looking at an image or a control field, 3 to 1. But text, 4.5 to 1.
what Narelle's describing there is ratios that
Yeah.
can be identified through various contrast and accessibility tools that are available on the web, and they are
Yeah.
often providing a ratio between foreground and background, and
That's
that's
it.
a very useful tool to have. And um, what I was about to say to that is that when we talk about these principles and the guidelines, these guidelines have been thoroughly researched. So people just haven't pulled these ratios out of the hat. They've basically done they've had work groups that have conducted a large amount of academic research to find the ideal ratio for contrast, and they have obviously fed that back to the WAI, which is the Web Accessibility Initiative, and they've in turn put it into the guidelines. But I don't say that just for contrast. Pretty much what I've been saying to a lot of people, uh, developers included, is that when you make something compliant to the WCAG, it's more than likely that you're going to be fitting into the majority of people with disabilities, because it's the people with disabilities that provide the feedback through various research um, programs that provide the information that gets uh, put into the guidelines. So
Yeah.
that's something to take into consideration.